Hi there, I'm Rex King. Welcome back to From the Archive. Earlier this year, we lost a screen legend in Gene Hackman. And ever since then, everyone's been doing videos about films he's made. So it's no wonder that it would inevitably come to my turn. And what better film to talk about than The French Connection? So The French Connection, for those of you who don't know, is based off a true story, an actual drug bust that happened in New York. It was made into a book by Robin Moore, and a film idea got sent to producer Philip D'Antoni, who at the time was famous for his production of Bullitt. And initially he was reluctant to make the movie until he met the detectives behind the case. And once he did, well, he fell in love with the story and their characters. So he decided to bring on one director, William Friedkin, who was at the time known for directing documentaries. And this film would be one of many that would cement his role in movie history. The other one of those being, The Exorcist. Anyway, for the lead role of Popeye Doyle, they went through a few actors, Jackie Gleason and Peter Boyle being amongst them. For one reason or another, they couldn't really fit the role, and they really wanted some unknowns as well, at least the producers did. So they brought on Roy Scheider and Gene Hackman. However, even then, Gene Hackman really almost backed out, as he felt like he was not right for this role, and the first day of shooting, he really felt like he couldn't nail the character. Luckily, he stuck with it as this movie became hugely popular. It was made on a budget of between $1.8 million to $2.2 million, and made about $75 million at the box office. It was a hit with critics as well, earning a Best Picture winning Oscar in 1971. So, does this film deserve all the credit it gets? Or does it deserve to fade into the background of movie history? Well, let's talk about it. So The French Connection follows Popeye Doyle and Cloudy. I don't remember his last name. I think it's like Russo or something. And they basically are two narcotics detectives who spend their day busting people for narcotics possessions until one day they go to the Copa and see this guy who they've never seen before acting like a big shot amongst other drug big shots. So they decide to follow him. What proceeds is basically a cop game of cat and mouse, as the entire movie really focuses on these cops trying to make this case against these drug couriers, and are following them through New York while the couriers are trying to escape them. It's really kind of fun and kind of interesting. It's not anything hugely different as far as the story is concerned, but it's really well paced, and the different interactions really make the film worth the watch. Now, there's also a huge chase scene in this film that just draws you in. A chase scene that happens because Popeye Doyle, who at that point was being taken off the case, gets shot at by a sniper. He goes up to where the sniper is, but the sniper has run away, and he chases after him, only for the sniper to end up going on a elevator train, leading Popeye Doyle to do the only reasonable thing: steal a car and chase the train through the streets of New York. This scene is bonkers, and can definitely not be made today, as I'm not even sure it should have been made back then. But it works for this movie, and the ending of that chase is an iconic scene that was put on the movie poster. I don't want to ruin it for the 5 of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, but still, it is a fantastic scene, and all the scenes in this movie are well directed, well shot. The music, the jazzy score that this film uses is beautiful. It's perfect for what the film is going for. The performances are spot on. Gene Hackman and Roy Scheider at the top of their game, and it's no wonder that the film would make their careers. Another person I want to highlight is Fernando Rey, who plays our titular French Connection and is our antagonist for pretty much most of the film. And he doesn't get many lines, but all of his scenes that he's in are really iconic, and I really enjoy them. And it's mainly due to his performance. I really cannot state how well this movie was made. That being said, I do recognize some problems. One, the movie drops you right in the middle of the action without really no explanation for what's going on. So you're playing catch up. Now, I kind of don't like that when movies do this. It just makes me feel disconnected, and I have to find a way to connect to the characters from there on out. And that's not helped by the fact that since there's not a lot of dialogue in this film, which is both a plus and a negative, it's a plus because it allows the directors to show, not tell, but it's a negative because I don't really get to learn a ton about these characters, just what I can gain through their actions. And as a result, I don't really feel a connection to any of them. And I can feel like a lot of audience members will feel a disconnect. Now, it's also not helped that the ending is very abrupt, but that might have to do with the actual case this film is based on, as apparently, from what I was able to gain for reading about it, a lot of the top people really skated without much punishment at all, and that's kind of why the ending is so abrupt. But at the end of the day, The French Connection is worth the watch, and I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it for whatever reason, definitely pick it up. It's definitely worth a buy for any movie collector, and it's definitely a must-watch. Anyway, next week we will be talking about an important Michael Crichton film that would go on to start a popular HBO series, Westworld. See you then.